Hello, good morning. Welcome to the wettest, windiest day of the year so far. Usually I like autumn, but this not so much.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
You join me on the final morning of Operation Present, where I realised I'd run out of wrapping paper. It's going well. And then as soon as that's done, I can pack up and head off back to Rickmansworth. And Crystal's off very shortly to pick up the girls and head into Wimbledon. They're going to do some Nando's, and then a bit of a cheeky Nando's, and then a visit to Wimbledon Theatre. So it's also, I say wettest and windiest. When I get to Rickmansworth, there are winds forecast of 42 miles an hour, so that's quite bad. Here in Sheltered Kew it's only 12, but yeah, I've timed that well. A bit more light. Say something profound.
Ow. Let me come down there with you, mate. Ooh, ah, ooh, ooh. Here's Mama. Here's Mama.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hiya.
There's Walter. He's going to go penny buys, I think.
Right. Oh.
Keep going instead.
No. Hello. Hello. Getting rid of the last bit of energy.
Yeah.
Oh, mustn't forget that.
What's that?
His helicopter shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Did we put that on?
Who's that?
It's cold outside.
It's very close to you. No.
Who's that?
Did you go
Is that your brother?
now, darling? Hopefully we see you soon. And we'll Skype. You tell your mummy and daddy to Skype me. Will you say that, Walter? Will you tell your daddy to Skype Grandma and Papa?
Good morning. It is Tuesday, and I'm currently walking towards the old dairy site, which is near Sainsbury's on Manor Circus in Richmond. And I'm going there because I'm going to go and see one of the new RHP developments that's been just finished. It is a selection of affordable rental properties, and from the pictures I've seen it looks awesome, but I wanted a guided tour because the rest of the staff are going around today, so I figured I'd sneak along and have a look. It's also the closest development to where I live, so it's walking distance, which makes the whole thing somewhat easier, because I have to go back to Teddington this evening for service delivery committee. In between now and then, I'm just going to make the most of this currently dry day. November is truly upon us. Most of the leaves are on the ground rather than on the trees. When we were back home at the weekend, I did dig out loads of the old videos of us in Berlin and my parents in Berlin to remind myself of a few of the things that we're going to see in 23 days time, 24 days time. So I'm quite looking forward to it now. It's going to be lovely, it's going to be very cold, and there's going to be a lot of eating. I think I'm hoping it's more of the sort of crisp blue kind of cold with the occasional flutter of snow, and less of this sort of grey and white kind of cold that we get here. In fact, it's not even cold here, but yeah, I mean, it will be ultimately. But this is how our winter usually looks. I prefer winter with clear skies. So here's hoping. wasn't that impressive. I give a bit of a taste of it. Didn't want to show every single layout of, you know, every room and what have you, but they're all large 2 or 3 bedroom flats, all houses, and they're finished beautifully, and it's ever so nice and private there, and there's a parking space for each flat, which is incredible. So that's very impressive to have built that just around the corner and next to Sainsbury's. So as I said, those are homes for affordable rent. So the council's allocation team has been round to look at them, because they're going to be allocating people on the housing waiting list to there in the end. The views from the top, I mean, the distance you can see the Shard on one side, you can see Richmond Park, you can see all the way down almost to Heathrow, you can see all the way up to Vauxhall along the river. It's incredible. I'm hugely jealous. But very proud. I'm very proud that we built those. They're really good. And if we carry on building that kind of quality, I'll be very pleased indeed. Now, I don't want to get too political, but obviously housing associations are under a lot of pressure at the moment from the government, and there's the kind of view that they aren't doing enough. And you can see that, you know, if they're well run, they try very hard to do as much as possible, and they don't generate profit, they generate surplus, and surpluses are used to build things like that. And if you don't have a surplus, then it's very hard to build, and if you can't build, then you're just losing housing stock ultimately all the time. So I'm very happy that we continue to do this, and we're going to be talking about this weekend at Away Day about our development programme in the future. And obviously there's a lot of pressures on it in terms of people's ability to buy stock off you with right to buy coming in, and you know, and whether people are doing enough with their surpluses. I hope that we're able to prove the naysayers wrong. I feel that we can, and it's fantastic to see when something, you know, when an organisation is doing something that great, and it makes me very proud to be a part of it. So we'll leave it there. On an unrelated matter, whilst I'm walking back, when is the next series of Serial coming out? They kept saying autumn 2015, or actually they didn't know American, they kept saying fall 2015. It is flipping fall 2015. It's November the 10th. Get on with it. I'm putting this, I know they're doing 2 series at once at the moment. I'm putting this out there so I can feel stupid when it's released next week. But also in the hope that I'm putting vibes out there to hurry them along. Good afternoon from Camden, where I'm busy scheduling music all day pretty much, and various things like that. This is my one opportunity to nip out, get some lunch and make the most of the grey, because it's November and that's what you get, grey all day, all grey. Got some eBay posting to do tomorrow. I've sold a few things to help fund next year's holiday, so I've got to post them off. Plus we're getting ever closer to going to Berlin, so I need to start actually thinking about what to take. It's 4 weeks, it's less than 4 weeks till we go. I think it's 3 weeks on Friday, so yeah, more thought required about that. That'll be for tomorrow. Hello there, good evening. So I haven't got any work coming up imminently, and I managed to break the printer this morning, so I wasn't feeling overly good. And you know how it is at this time of year. I mean, look, it's 4 o'clock and it's getting dark, and it's grey and it's miserable, and yeah, it's not a great time of year, so it's perfectly acceptable when you have a day we don't feel 100%. But then I just found out that Squires have lots of Q Brewery Q Green and Blacks, which is Q Brewery's chocolate stout, and I just bought 4 bottles. I'm not going to drink them all. Some of them will be presents, but I feel a lot better. So thank you, Q Brewery, for more of your unpaid for advertising in this vlog. But whilst we're on that kind of subject, not particular to, you know, this establishment, but if you live anywhere that makes beer or wine or non-alcoholic produce, anything fresh and local and what have you, I would strongly suggest you try it. You may be surprised, it might have nuances and differences that you don't get from supermarket brands, and yes, you'll pay a little bit more, but I don't think you'll regret it. So buy local, see what you get. So I was talking about this with my family when I was back home the other day, but I very much like the American tradition of Thanksgiving. and ignoring the historical reasons for it, which are obviously particular to that country, and have, you know, some not so nice sides as well, involving accidentally giving smallpox to Native Americans, and you know, but ignoring that, think about what it means now and why it's celebrated. And the basic premise is it's about giving thanks for what you have in life and celebrating being with your family. Now, that to me seems awesome. And it's celebrated by all faiths across America. It is non-religious, and it is a moral but a religious festival. A-religious as in one word, as in non-religious. So that seems brilliant, and I think we should sort of adopt a similar sort of tradition here. Christmas is obviously a historically religious festival, and that brings with it some problems about people complaining that you are or aren't being religious enough. But Thanksgiving doesn't have any of that. It's just about being thankful, and that's why I think it's pretty awesome. Plus it's about eating, and that's awesome to me anyway. But what's better than eating with family? I think that's fantastic. So, any excuse really. And so it seems like a pretty good one. And at this time of year, my feeling is you need as many of those excuses as possible to cheer yourself up from the miserable greyness. Hello there, it is Friday evening. Since yesterday, I've done not a lot, if I'm honest. Starting to think about Christmas presents and what have you. Usually on holiday at this time, and it's really, my brain isn't really coping with the idea that I'm in a cold climate that gets dark at 4:30. I will come to terms with it. Fear not. I thank you very much for watching this week. I hope you enjoyed the very varied things from nephews to houses and whatnot. Next week starts with me spending an entire morning talking about the future of house building in the local area. And then hopefully from your perspective, gets a bit more interesting from there. We're hopefully going to Kingston and have a bit of fun next week. That's the plan. So thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe, and I hope to see you next week.